What's up, Royals? Hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I made a how-to video, so I figured I'd make one. With all the talk about genetic testing, testing the sheds for the DNA that's in here, the one thing that I don't like about it is how we have to wait for the animal to shed. But there's a lot of information out there on how to prepare the sheds. But like I said, the drawback to using the shed for DNA testing is the wait. And of course, waiting for this probably is just as long as waiting for the results once the company gets the shed. But we have a faster way to get the DNA, and it's not from the sheds. By the way, this video is sponsored by Charlie over at Gray Rider Reptiles. Great dude. Really like working with him. He has an amazing collection of ball pythons, and he does the genetic testing for ball pythons, which is super fitting for this video because it's working with Charlie that have helped me develop the method that I'm going to show you in this video. Go check out Charlie over at Gray Rider Reptiles. His information will be down in the description below. Check out his website and you can use the promo code for your next genetic test. Here I have an adult male animal right here, and another way we can get the DNA is by a scale clipping. Now the scale clipping is a little bit tricky because you definitely don't want to hurt the animal. What you can do is get a piece of dark paper and slide it underneath one of the scales to get an idea of how much clipping you can take off without hurting the animal. So you see there's a very thin clear area at the edge of the scale, and that is the part that you can clip off without hurting the animal. Now the animal might flinch, but of course if somebody took your hand and cut your fingernail without you knowing, you'll flinch too, right? So let me see if I can focus this, and again I'm just using a piece of paper here just so you can see. But when I do clip it, I don't actually use a dark piece of paper like that. So you can see there's just a little bit, you can see how it's translucent. So that's all that you can clip off, is just that little tiny edge right there. Just like right there, that's all you can clip off without injuring the animal. And the animal won't even care most of the time once you clip it off. And not most of the time, but all the time that I've done it, the animal doesn't care. And then once you clip it off, you can just tape it to a card or a piece of paper. You know, you can use a pen to circle it just so that the person who's receiving it knows exactly where the clipping is, because they are quite small. And that does work. So you can do that if you're in a hurry and you don't want to wait for the shed. The other thing you can do is, if you have a male that needs to be tested, you can pop it and use the sperm plug. This one already went with the female, but you can see a little bit of that white coming out, so that's sperm, and you can put that on a card as well, let it dry, and again circle it and then send it off to get the DNA tested. So those are a couple ways, but of course you still have to wait, because this is an adult male who has sperm. This is also big enough in order to have that little white translucent area, not white, but the clear area around the scales, because on a baby it's almost impossible. So what I want to do in this video is show you how you can get DNA from a baby, and that's why I have those toothpicks and that Q-tip. And this method I'm about to show you is going to work for animal of all sizes. And there's a little bit of a modification that I do to this method. So if I have a hatchling like this, and I'm trying to get DNA from its mouth, I mean, just look at the size of the Q-tip in comparison to its head. And I'm supposed to stick this in its mouth and just rub its gum area. Well, this is not very precise. And also with the problem with this for the tester, the person who's trying to test for the DNA, is there's so much cotton here that it absorbs so much of the chemicals, the reagents, that it's a lot of waste. And so I've worked with Charlie over at Gray Rider Reptiles, and I've experimented. I sent him different different cotton swabs, and we found a good method that actually works, and I'm about to show you how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one back first, and we're going to prepare those toothpicks for a swab. All right, usually I would get a cotton ball, but since I'm already taken this out, we can just utilize the cotton from the swabs. So all you have to do is first just gently unravel some cotton from the tip of the Q-tip. Now if you have the cotton balls, then you just have to get a little bit and kind of stretch it till you have this much is good. And then you want to put the toothpick on it, fold it over, and then just roll. You want to make sure you cover the tip because the tip is sharp. You want to cover that with cotton and fold it over. So now you have a nice round tip, and it's small, so you can make precise swabs in the mouth without getting all the cotton caught on its teeth, because as you can imagine, there's a lot of teeth in there and there's not much space. So if you have a big Q-tip like this side, you're gonna basically catch a lot of the cotton on its teeth, and I don't really know if that's going to be harmful to the animal or what, but I like to just avoid those things if possible. And like I said, this method also reduces the amount of reagent that is needed. So look at that. You can see the wood of the toothpick, the point of the toothpick does not protrude out. It's covered by the cotton. And if you just turn it, hold it and turn it, it compresses the cotton fibers. So you got a nice neat tip like that. So we're going to now use this to get a swab of the DNA in the snake's mouth. So I'm going to take a swab of DNA out of this animal's mouth, and the reason I'm doing it is because a few of the animals from this clutch came with this ringer. This one seems to have the most noticeable ringer, and I'm wondering if there might be het pied floating in my clowns. So I'm going to go ahead and take a swab out of its mouth. So the thing you have to be sure of is to secure the head. Still be gentle with it though. You don't want to hurt the animal. If you've done assist feeding and stuff, you know that doesn't hurt the animal. So we're going to go ahead and just take a swab right there, and you want to go towards the back. You don't want to go forward, you just want to go back like that. Just like that, and then you can do it the other side as well. You see how it's not catching on the teeth? Because you're just lifting up the gum and just rubbing it, and that's all. Make sure you put this in a nice clean area. I'm going to put it right here on my napkin. I'll show you what to do with that. So I want to secure that makeshift Q-tip to something a little bit bigger so it doesn't get lost. And what I'm using is an old business card. You can see it has my old logo on it, but it has my information on it on the front already, which is what you'll want to include. And then on the back, I have the animal's information and I have its ID as well. And I put my initials. You can see LLR in the front, just in case something gets lost. Just with that, I'll know it's mine. And then of course what is being tested. In this case, we're going to test it for het pied because we saw that ringer. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to place it on the card, and then a piece of tape just to hold it in place. Put this in a small Ziploc bag just in case it gets wet in transit or something like that, and mail it to the organization that is going to do the test for you. So this is really simple. Like I said, you can make these. It's going to be small enough. It'll be even better for an adult because, again, you have more space and you can really get a lot of DNA on this because it's a small surface area as opposed to something huge like this. And one of the issues that I always get is I get the fibers of the cotton caught in their teeth, especially on the smaller animals, and it gets me a little bit worried. And as for the tester, whoever is running the tests, you know, the big Q-tips, they absorb a lot of the agents. These ones, they're so little cotton on there, and because there's really no ridges or glue or adhesive holding the cotton on there, they can just slide it right off. So so for example, Charlie can just hold the wooden part of the toothpick and then use a piece of Q-tip, not a Q-tip, a tweezer or something, and just start here and rub it downwards, and that cotton just comes right off. So this is really helpful for me, at least, in saving some time, so I'm not waiting for sheds. I'm not very comfortable cutting the scales, and you know, the popping method using the sperm plug, that only works for adult males. But this works for every animal, regardless of age. And yeah, so I thought I'd share this with you guys. Hope you guys learned something, and let me know if you wanted to know the results of this, because I'm curious if I have pied. I hope I do, but if not, it's just a cool little ringer on the Enchi clown. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Comment down below what you think of it, and if you want more how-to videos, I'll try to make them whenever I learn something new that'll hopefully help you guys as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and peace out.